And in the commentary box, Phil Laurie and Greg Chubb.
Thank you, Richie. Good morning, all. Yes, McDermott going down the leg side, so Howard just helping it on its way. It was quite short. It swung a little bit. Plenty of bat on that, and it races away for 4. So Pakistan winning the toss, electing to bat. There should be some swing and movement here this morning, despite the rain. There's some crowd cover about. It'll be a tense time for the Pakistani batsmen against McDermott and McGrath. McDermott, in particular, looking for a bag of wickets. Yes, so Hale's been the informed batsman for Pakistan. He's played very well in the top order. And hits the ball hard. Career average of 35.86. I think he's going to improve on that. He's prepared to play his shots, get on with the job. 1,829 test runs in 28 test matches. A bit of pressure here this morning for the Pakistan top order. They desperately need a good start to the third test match. Straight to Mark Waugh, McDermott strikes, beautiful pair of hands, slashing in a wideish delivery, and Pakistan in trouble at 1 for 4. And good morning, Greg Chappell.
Good morning, Bill, and good morning to all our viewers as we see Ejaz Ahmed heading back towards the pavilion. An interesting choice by the Pakistanis to bat first under these conditions, and that's not the start they wanted. A wonderful catch again by Mark Waugh. Craig McDermott needed a good start as much as the Pakistanis. He'll be pleased with that. So the worst possible start for Pakistan. 4 runs to Ejaz Ahmed. He's on the way back. Caught for bowled McDermott. Pakistan 1 for 4.
No ball caught, and he gets away nicely. Going for the full shot. And it goes all the way. Hit that beautifully. It's a very positive stroke. One feels the Pakistanis are going to throw the bat at everything early on while the field is up.
I don't think the no ball call made any difference to this shot. Ramesh Raja very quickly into position. Umpire Dickie Bird call there, but he's well into the shot. Before he had time to hear the call, it might have helped him at the end. Just give it a little bit extra.
McGrath continues. Nice thick edge, and it'll go all the way for 4. Ramesh Raja playing with soft hands, and that was pretty well played. It was a genuine thick outside edge. His hands were there, they were pointed down towards the ground, and it raced away for 4.
One of the advantages with being an opening batsman, if there are any advantages, the fact that you're playing against a hard ball, you've got the field up. Any time you beat the field, very thick outside edge, but as Bill said, always on the way down. And with the slippery grass, the wet surface, it skidded off the
One got away from him a little bit. Probably the attempted Yorker.
It was interesting watching McGrath in the Brisbane Test match. He bowled his first over, and every ball swung away from the right-hander. Right-hander didn't have to play at it. And after that, he didn't swing a ball.
Almost driving to mid-off. Good effort by Gillett, diving across. He hit it with a fair amount of power. Short cover.
Oh, yes, there's a big appeal there. That probably flicked, I think, the thigh as it went through. There were a couple of noises, though. It might have gone from one to the other.
This will be very interesting. Did it get the bat after the pad or the glove? Can't tell from that angle. Mark Taylor thought so.
Well, I thought they hit the glove. Let's see if we can pick it up. No, it went between batsmen. Boy, he doesn't know what's going on. He's trying to leave everything.
He's got a few mates, Tony. He's a beautiful bowler. We watch this, the slow-mo, the ball spinning. It pitches and it bounces. And it goes through. It may have been just hitting the bottom of the glove. That's what Taylor was looking for.
Paul Russell. The ball hit in the air, but just past Craig McDermott at mid-on. Ramesh Raja just flips it away. It just beats Craig McDermott in defence to bring up the 50 partnership between these two. And they needed a partnership at the top of the innings. And Ejaz Ahmed was removed early. And these two have really dug in. It's been a very impressive performance by Ramiz Raja and Ejaz Ahmed. In the air again, but again he picked the gap. That's okay. You don't need to keep them on the ground, provided you're absolutely certain you're going to pick the gap. Again, an indication of the slowness of the pitch. He was into the shot before the ball got to him, tending to hit through the line. It wasn't a half volley. Shane Warne with the flipper, and he's got a wicket here. It's a very poor piece of batting from Ramiz. Absolutely fooled by the flipper from Shane Warne. Started to go for the pull shot. I can imagine what went through his mind when the ball was halfway down and he realised what he'd done.
He'd have been better off going on with the shot and hitting it through mid-wicket, or trying to hit it through mid-wicket, even if he just mishit it on the ground. But in changing his shot, he just ballooned it straight to Michael Slater at mid-on. Ramiz Raja has done it once again, getting a start, but not capitalising. Pakistan 2 for 64.
Should be just learning the craft. He's only a lad as far as Test cricket is concerned. And that's a good positive shot. Didn't quite get hold of it, but the method was right. Over the infield goes Ejaz, and he'll pick up 2 runs.
Yes, Shane Warne has been a master of his art for quite some time now, as his record suggests. He doesn't bowl too many bad balls, and even when he does, not many batsmen really make the most of it. 10 lots of 5 wickets, 3 lots of 10 wickets in a match. It's a terrific record.
It's a good shot. It's very well played. Traction short, hitting with the spin. And you must make Warne pay when he drops it short. Doesn't bowl too many the short to cut.
Yes, there's a lot of spin bowlers could easily have been fast bowlers, Bill, with their personality and their temperament. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people forget, that there's a lot of effort that goes into bowling spinners. We just have a look at this cut shot again. There's a lot of emotion attached to it. It mightn't be as physical as fast bowling, but there's a lot of energy that goes into bowling spinners and bowling them well.
Great bowl.
Haven't forgotten the Gabba and that magical catch. Bit of a thick edge, but he put plenty of bat on that. It'll go away for 4. In the air.
And McGrath's not particularly taken with it. Ejaz Ahmed does the right thing here. He gets the ball that's a bit short and wide. He decides to give it the full flash of the bat. He's going to go at him hard. It's a thick edge, and it's going to go near a fieldsman. At least make it hard for them to catch it. We've got enough bat on it this time to get it well and truly over the top of the slip's cordon. I think it was intentional. He tried to make sure he got it up and over the infield.
Beats Booning square leg to pick up 2 more. Pretty good batting lineup. This one for Pakistan. They've got some depth with Salim Malik, Bassett Ali and Wazam Akram. And Latif, the wicketkeeper, is quite handy with the bat. So
That's well played. Lovely straight drive, and that'll go all the way. Over pitch by McDermott, and a lovely straight drive by Inzamam. Didn't try and hit it too hard, just caressed it through that mid-off area.
A lot of power, this man, Inzamam, and he pounced on the half volley. Slater started to chase hard, but it wasn't long before he realised there was no point. He was just going to be wasting energy. That's one of the advantages that Inzamam has got. If the bowler does produce a loose ball, he can really pound it.
It's well pitched up as well, and also nicely played away. I don't think this one will quite get there. Rifles after it. Have to settle for 3 here. 2 nice drives there. McDermott just over pitching a little bit.
Inzamam played Mark Waugh.
That's well played, way down the ground. That's a magnificent 6. Well, he's really decided to get stuck into that one. Belted it down the ground, and it's gone way back.
got a very good strike rate in one-day internationals, Ejaz. He's up around the 80 mark, 80 runs per 100 balls. And you can see why, with power like that.
He's got that one away on the offside, but Taylor's got his fieldsman at decks to cover quite deep. And that's over-pitched, and that'll go down to the fence for 4. What you've got to do is refrain from bowling any full tosses, keep them bogged down. That's when they'll panic a little bit. They'll get a bit frustrated.
As you would expect from Mark Waugh, only a Johnny-come-lately with his off-spin. There are going to be a few loose ones around.
That's well played. Pitched up again. McDermott hit down the ground. That one's running away towards mid-on. Slater's after it. That brings up the 50 partnership as well. It won't quite get to the fence. Slater diving, dragging it back. And the batsman crossed for 3. So they've put on 50. Very good hit.
Ejaz has seized on that. The man down at deep fine leg wasn't sure where it was. He lost it in the background at the stands.
Beautiful hook shot. Positive, quickly into position. McDermott, not expressed these days. Probably had 2 bounces, but certainly banged this one in. He was in position quickly and he gave it a big whack. Very positive hook shot. And that's a confidence builder for Ejaz.
48 and 27 for Ejaz and Inzamam. Been a good performance, nice partnership from them. Not just the runs they've made, but they've batted with increasing confidence. And a very nice half-century from Ejaz Ahmed. He's made runs in Australia before. And that is a good performance.
Certainly he is batting at number 3, coming in at 1 for 4. Ejaz Ahmed's played a very sensible and responsible knock here. Played his shots. In fine square cuts. That was a nice on drive through the widest mid-on position. Brings up his 51 in good time.
That's 4. You can't afford to be too short either. But that's been the pattern for the Australian pacemen during the day. They've either been up in the slot where they can be easily driven, or they've been short like that where they can be cut.
Beautiful shot. Medium pace it down for short. Placed it nicely. I guess it's pretty hard too when you're leading 2-0 to always get it right.
Oh, and that is a rank full toss and smashed away. That got the treatment it deserved. And Boone just ducked there, went flying past his head.
Well, it's certainly got him thinking that probably he better get on with it. If there's any scoring opportunities, I better take them. Because I don't know what he's going to bowl to me next. How is that? And he's gone, caught behind. The ball much too full to be trying to cut. The pressure was building and building and building on Inzamam al-Haq. In the end, he tried to force the ball from the back foot without really going back. Got quite a bit of bat on it, and Ian Healy has taken the catch.
If he looked like getting out in this fashion, leaving himself no room really. Look there, right back. It's spun, big nick, and beautifully covered there by Healy. And that certainly brought a smile to the face of a few Aussies. Well bowled, well taken, and now the end of Inzamam.
And that's Shane Warne's 150th Test wicket in Australia. Pakistan 3 for 141. Inzamam.
That's well played. Long hop, and he's put it over the top. Superb stroke. The spinner dropped short. That's what you should be doing to it, and he did it nicely. Right up the meat of the bat.
And his mate's going crook because he's dropped it. Well, the one consolation is there's not $100 on catches today. And Ejaz, knowing that there's no man at mid-wicket, didn't even bother to try and hit that one on the ground.
Against the big off drive, it doesn't beat mid-off. He's Gone again, a full toss away she goes. Good over for Pakistan. Warren dropping short and pitching up. And Ejaz with that strange grip. Does like it on leg stump. He hits it with tremendous power.
Yes, he doesn't really leave his crease, not by much, but it was quick footwork. He was very quick to see the length and get there and get it on the full. Good batting.
Quite good here, 3 for 167 after a wicket fell very early in the innings. Warren to continue now. He's having a little battle out here with Salim Malik. That one's tossed up and drawing Salim Malik forward that time. He's been playing in from the crease. So, Malik on 7 at the moment, but having all sorts of problems with Waugh. But as we've told you, he's a pretty cool customer. Doesn't get flustered easy. Well, that's a short delivery, and he's got that away to the fence. So that'll relieve the pressure a little bit. Shane Warne doesn't bowl many loose deliveries. That one was, and Salim got it away. Oh, yes, he's got him. Did they hit him on the glove? It's a no from the umpire. The question's been asked a few times. They can't believe it. Healy reckons he's got it, and he said no quite categorically. Let's see whether we can pick up any glove here. Did it hit the back of the bat as it went up, or the glove?
The Rollin with the top spinner gone up, jammed between the arm and the body. Whether in fact it hit any glove was up to the umpire to decide.
That's well played. Caress through the covers, and that'll go all the way for 4. This outfield's quite quick. It's certainly lovely and green and lush. And that's probably the second 4. Nicely timed. In the commentary box now, Bill Laurie and Richie Becker.
Thank you, Tony. Good afternoon all. That's a glorious cover drive. Full face of the bat.
And being hit like that.
Well, after the drinks break, not a bad way to go. Ejaz dancing down the pitch, getting it on the half bowl, and hit that as clean as a whistle. And they need to break the shackles a bit, Pakistan here. They want to be well over 200 here today. Doesn't quite get on the half volley, but it's straight through the line. Good positive stroke.
And start the day again tomorrow for Pakistan. I'll be very happy with him.
Nicely timed on that occasion from Salim Malik. Malik also has shown a lot of determination, obviously having played very little cricket in the last 8 or 9 months. He's just set himself to spend a lot of time in the middle today.
He's just started to swing away, and he's now beginning to relax a bit too. He looked very tense when he first came in, but look at this. Just follows that one, and nice flowing drive right off the meat of the bat.
Into some form. That's an excellent shot. That's where he loves to play. He loves to drive there outside the off stump.
Yes, that's another beautiful cover drive. Perhaps even better than the previous one. Watch this. Straight into the gap. Good angle of it as well. Watching how he lines himself up, and just a little bit wide again. He followed it, but right off the meat of the bat. So he does love them in that area. He also loves them on his hips. Just rolls them around down towards square leg. Sometimes whips them by the umpire.
Hasn't quite timed this one as he would like, but it's still getting to the boundary. A little bit of Frank Worrell about the way he bowled.
It's been a good over from his point of view so far. .4.44. And this is the last one, the third in the over.
That's got to be close. Yes, he's gone. Some late swing there for Glenn McGrath. I think it's found Salim Malik looking to push the ball on the onside. Very good delivery.
Yes, that was beautifully bowled. He bowled him the bouncer, and then this one I think swung away just a little bit. Didn't hit him on the back pad. No, it was on the front pad, but look at that. All those stumps covered. And no hesitation there. Dickie Bird rose. That finger was out in a flash. And so that's the end of Salim Malik. Just beginning to relax a little bit. He was. LBW to McGrath for 36, and it's 4 for 210.
When they really count, which has been in the test matches. We'll be hoping to change all that today.
There he goes, over the top, and that's an appropriate way to bring up his 100, and a well-deserved 100 it is, and he's every right to be pleased with himself. Dickie Bird signals the 4, and it's a very happy Ejaz Ahmed, and justifiably so. It's been a gritty performance from him. His captain is absolutely delighted. It's been a very good innings. It's his 3rd test century. First one in Fazalabad, then one at the MCG in 89-90, and the 3rd one here at the Sydney Cricket Ground in 1995. So it's been a long time between drinks, but a well-deserved century. And gets the over in, and there'll be plenty of time to get the extra over in before 6:15 with Ejaz. 91 overs were bowled in the day by the Australians, as usual. They got through their overs very well. The fielding was excellent. A couple of good catches. Brilliant ground fielding.
That's well done. That's a perfect off drive. That's beautifully played by Bassett Ali. His best shot by a mile. Right on the up and hit as clean as a whistle. That's a confidence builder.
Well, obviously, this is the sort of talent that people have seen in Bassett Ali. Excellent shot, because it certainly wasn't a genuine half volley. But the blade went right through that cover drive. Perfect example of the shot.
Getting back to the pitches, Ian, they were at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The wickets were started in the first week in November. So it must be very hard, as we see that beautiful off drive there again from stump vision. Hard for Kudos to get consolidation. And maybe that's why we're not getting we're getting more seam. There's more grass around.
Oh, he's cut hard at that one. It's going down to the boundary for 4. They love playing that cut shot, these Pakistanis, especially those two out there. Ejaz, we've seen play it often, and once again, he's got stuck into it here, just wide of the gully fieldsman, and another boundary to him.
Just 3 runs from 94 balls in 65 minutes. So it's been another useful partnership for Pakistan.
Well, got him. He's hit it straight down, wide middle throat. And that's the end of Bassett Ali. Going to the drive. The ball wasn't quite there. In the air. And easily taken. So Bassett Ali out caught for 17.
And lack of discipline here from Bassett Ali. Had a bit of problems with Craig McDermott last over. Seemed to lose his concentration. He continued it on in this over, and the slowness of the pitch allows him to hit it to Michael Slater.
This is a big moment for the new batsman, Rashid Latif. He's taken over from Mohan Khan behind the stumps, and he's out there batting now. And wanting a quick single straight away. And so he's off the mark. Good thinking.
Be playing it in case it turns like that again.
That's well played, and a good effort there by Blewett, diving away, but it's got past him, and it's going to go to the fence for 4 as well. So that was really nicely hit. It's a bit short, that one. And Ejaz Ahmed really getting away, backing away, and blasting it just wide of the fieldsman at point.
Just enough width, and the ball short enough for Ejaz to feel comfortable to go back and slash it away. When the ball's pitched up, they're going to be a little bit more wary. That's the one they're concerned with. Might spin. It means that Ian Healy and Mark Taylor in front of his face.
As a result of the way he played that one, he might get a few more. Got him, caught behind, well bowled Craig McDermott, a beautiful line, having just bowled in the bouncer. That was just outside off stump, may have moved away a little bit, big outside edge, and that's the end of Rashid Latif.
Well, the bouncer did its job. Just got him worried about coming forward in case there's another short one. Pitched it up, just moved it away. Outside edge. Ian Healy just takes it as a straightforward catch.
Apparently he's gone 40 innings in Test cricket without scoring a 50. He's in the middle of a pretty ordinary run. Oh, and really didn't know much about that one either. So these quick bowlers dishing it out to each other. In the air and over the top. That's well played. That's a very good, very positive shot. He's looking good, Ejaz. That wasn't really tossed up, but he used his feet, got underneath and hit it straight over the top of middle.
He's picked the right delivery here, the one that's drifted in towards the pad, and he's aimed straight down the ground. With the spin, it's gone towards the offside of straight. It was well clear. The ball drifting in towards his pads, and he's allowed the full swing of the bat. And comfortably clears Glenn McGrath. In fact, that's Michael Slater at mid-off.
Yeah, good positive shot, that one.
Great bowling.
The problem is if you simply let Warren bowl and a bit of an initiative, start to spread the field a bit. We hit that one as well. That's up in the air. Will this one get caught? I think it might be. No, it's just out of his reach. Slater couldn't quite get the dive in there. He moved very quickly for a start. And he's not happy. I think I don't know whether he slipped or not. He's having a look down at the grass there, but it just looked as if he was trying to take off and catch it in a dive. Let's have another look.
Very tantalising one for Michael Slater. The ball spinning away to the offside, and then it was sliced by the batsman, so it's always going to drift away from the fieldsman.
McDermott. Well, that's gone many a mile. Didn't quite make it over the fence on the full. The pitch here at the SCG is on that side of the ground, the eastern side, the Bill O'Reilly stand side. He's picked that up very well. Afternoon, Ian Chappell.
Good afternoon, Rich. Graham, that's the way he likes to play, and I think that's the way he plays best. He plays his shot. He's a very dangerous player, and he's in an aggressive mood.
He's picked that perfectly. It's a slower ball. It's pretty well bowled by McDermott.
Running.
I wonder if we're going to see something really special from Waugh. When he goes, he is absolutely brilliant.
I love the story about Wasim Akram. He was playing for Lancashire. It was in a one-day game, and he'd brought Lancashire from the brink of defeat. They were dead and buried, or so everyone thought. And Wasim played like he's playing at the moment.
That's absolutely true. A brilliant innings too, I can tell you. And there's another lovely stroke in this one here at the SCG. Outfield might have been slowed a little by overnight rain, but it had needed deluge to stop that.
Well, 4 boundaries in this over for Wasim Akram. He's the sort of player who can change a game. We've seen him do it with the ball, but he can really change a game with the bat, and in this sort of mood.
Full toss has got him, and got him completely. Well, Shane, it is a very strange game, cricket, I promise you, because Warren has got some magnificent deliveries out there, and all of a sudden, he's bowled a full toss outside leg stump and drifting further away, and Ejaz Ahmed has hit it straight down Glenn McGrath's throat. Thank you very much.
The temptation of another 6 has got him in, and Glenn McGrath taking his first test catch. Ejaz can be very proud of that innings. It was a beauty for Pakistan, and he deserves the standing ovation he's getting.
Right up in line, the attempted Yorker. That's a good bit of fielding. He's asked for the third umpire to have a look at that. David Boone very quickly onto the ball. Chaclain backing up. Caught short. And it's only going to take the replay to find out just how short he was.
His bat seemed to be in the air as well. It was a beautiful piece of work by David Boone. He took his time. Chaclain was very slow to turn. He was half looking for a run. So was the captain. Sent back, and I think Boone's got him as cold as a mackerel. There's the throw. Is the bat in the air? Bat is in the air. He's out.
Hobart come to the crease as the batsman, and he'll be facing the first ball from Shane. In the air. That'll be out. Caught. Pushed back. No idea what's going on. He's a leg spinner himself, but he really didn't quite know what to be doing with Shane Warne. Stepped across the line. In the end, the spoon went up rather gently to Craig McDermott at mid-on.
Yes, and leg spinner Shane Warne's class will clean up the tail very quickly. It was a nothing shot. Just tipped it straight to McDermott. So 4 wickets for Shane Warne, doing a great job with the broken tail. And it's been a good morning for Australia. They haven't let Pakistan get away.
Time it's the full toss, and it'll be out. It'll be a fight between McGrath and Boone. McGrath takes the catch, finishes the innings off, takes his second wicket for the innings. A waist-high full toss. He was trying to get the ball in there at Yorker length, or even a little bit fuller wouldn't have worried him. He just didn't want to get short. Wasim Akram was looking to pick up a few quick wickets. And here it goes. Waist-high full toss, just trying to flip it away. And only succeeded in popping it straight up.
Very good effort by McGrath, McDermott and Warne this morning to bowl Pakistan out for 299. Caught him by surprise. He was looking down the pitch. And McGrath did well. Caught it easily.
Back to his turn. 69 test matches. Last 15 as test captain. Michael Slater's happy to get away from strike.
It wasn't that a beautiful bowl from me ball. That one swung in. Slater played it very well. He's an opening batsman. You know there's only 2 overs to be bowled before the luncheon break. And you want to try and cut strike if you possibly can. He played that fairly well. It was a little bit late, but to the off stump showing there. Wasn't actually will test him out as he did in Hobart. Just all the swings and quite full. Now he's bowling to the left-handed Mark Tower, which will suit him if he can get the... Got him, yes, that's beautifully bowled. That's always the danger. Slater technically incorrect there, not getting forward, and bowled by the swinging Yorker. A gem of a delivery. Great start by Pakistan.
The ball has swung. Michael Slater looking to drive, perhaps just a little bit anxious. In the end, his foot almost got in the way of his bat, and the ball came back between bat and pad, and it won't be a very enjoyable lunch for Michael Slater. Australia 1 for 2.
Period here now for Australia. Good test match.
He's got that through, and that's gone away down to the boundary for 4. That's a little wide, and that's all David Boone needs. A little bit of whip. He plays that cut shot superbly. Beats mid on. So we've seen some very good bowling in this session, and suddenly David Boone breaks the shackles after, I think, Wasim Akram was warned.
So the Australians are 1 for 18. Slater back in the pavilion for 1.
Beautiful time. Colin Malik started out not bothering to chase it. Decides once again that it is a waste of energy.
It's the long boundary on the ground here this week with the test pitch well over to the eastern side of the ground. David Boone probably the best part of 100 metres from the boundary on that side. As Ian said, the timing perfect, the placement very good.
Nice, beautifully by the wrong end. Did he get an edge? What's the wait for the umpire's call? And through the hands, it looked to be buys. It was the wrong end. Got through tail, got through the wicketkeeper. Umpire Steve Randall runs, so that goes down as a chance.
Well, that's what the umpire says.
Where's the wrong one? Got one this time. That's beautiful bowling. The top spinner, Boone, trying to cut. That's a wonderful piece of bowling by Mushtaq. Maybe a chance against the Australian captain. This time he gets Boone with the top spinner.
Stunts from even outside of stumps.
Down the wicket again from Mark Waugh. There's plenty of singles around and there's a misfield. The ground fielding of the Pakistanis leaves a bit to be desired when you compare it with the Australians. Mind you, it leaves a little bit to be desired when you compare it with anyone.
Similar category.
Good chance. They got in, caught behind. Beautiful bowling. Taylor trying to sweep it over mid-wicket. The pressure maybe in the close fields and work for Pakistan. That's excellent cricket.
Amazing what a difference having a good glove man does to a team's fielding. Rashid Latif has been very good with the glove, and that's a good catch. Underneath edge from Mark Taylor. That's out, says Dickey, with the finger up. You'd really think that he enjoys giving batsmen out, wouldn't you, from the look on his face? It's 3 for 91.
And that's beautifully played. That's the first one he's over pitched for a while, and of course Mark was a magnificent cover drive, and he really did press that one through the offside. Lovely shot. All the way for 4. 3 for 190.
It's only a baby.
Yes, his average would be up also because his first series was, well, it was virtually his first series as a test bowler was against Australia.
Good shot. They're coming into the leg stump. Steve Waugh picked it up beautifully. Looking for 3. Happy with 2. Very positive stroke from Steve Waugh there. Well off the mid of the bat. Answers down just over the head of the man at mid-wicket, the Kane, who's not the best of fieldsmen. Well bowled. He's got Waugh to come to him. He's going to run 4. And Mushtaq must be wondering where his luck has gone. He has bowled very well to Mark Waugh. Cracking shot, a beauty.
Got a terrific reception from the SCG crowd when he walked through the gate, Steve Waugh, and they really enjoyed that shot. It's not a shot that he plays a lot with square cut. He tends more to play the straight bat shots off the back foot, like the cover drive. When you see him cut like that, you wonder why he doesn't play it a bit more.
But nervous there. It's a sort of nervous, can I get closer movement. Oh, that's got him. He must be out. Yes, he's calling for a replay. I think Stephen Waugh is taking his gloves off. I think he was out of his ground there. That's beautifully bowled by Mushtaq. And the question only is, did the bails come off quick enough? This will tell the story.
Yep. He's gone and forgotten. Well, not quite forgotten, but he's the 4th wicket to go down, and Rashid Latif has 3 of them. That umpire has signalled the red light. Steve Waugh is on his way. Played well for 38, but it was a lovely piece of cricket that got rid of him. Very well bowled, good leg spinner, and good wicket keeping also.
Mohammad Azharuddin, Vinod Cambley, both Indian batsmen, struggled after great start and bowled him. So he's still having problems, Greg Blewett. Mushtaq has deserved the wickets he's taken this morning. It's been a very good spell from him, but Greg Blewett playing right over the top of the full pitch delivery.
He's bowled superbly right throughout this innings. He's tested all the batsmen. Runs are hard to come by here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. This is good bowling. Nice fight. received him in the air, and the gate opened up the wrong, and again took middle stump, bowled him neck and crop, and that's superb bowling. He's enjoyed it, and rightly so. And Pakistan back in this match here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Blew it clean bowled, neck and crop, 5 for 182.
5 for 209. Blew it, the last man out, for 5. He was bowled, comprehensively bowled by Mushtaq.
That's a lovely shot. Played a beautiful late cut last over off the left armour. And he's followed it up with another good one. I was saying before that I think he's got the best footwork of all the Australian batsmen. And that's the man he picks out at mid-off. So that's the 9th Test 100 for Mark Waugh, his first at the SCG and first against Pakistan, 5th in Australia, and number 499 for Australia in Test cricket.
Yes, everyone on their feet here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. It's been a good innings. He's had to work pretty hard at times, but that second watch. Those are the figures. 184 balls for his 100.
And a shout from Rashid Latif, and Mushtaq right on lunch has got a terrific breakthrough for Pakistan. And once again this game takes another little twist. Ian Healy, a dangerous man, well caught by Rashid Latif, who's having a good game with the gloves. And Pakistan
Now it turned, and a little nick on there, well taken again. Doesn't a good wicketkeeper make a huge difference? And very well bowled Mushtaq as well. He picks up another one, gets into 4 now. You see driving at this delivery, just a faint little nick, and must be taken. Up they all go.
He was a wonderful spell of bowling. And just a loose now to start with.
And really that is poor fielding, because if he dives there and pulls that ball back, Rameez, and there's been some quite humorous ones as well.
And that's a lovely shot.
And good running as well as a good shot. Obviously the idea is to keep Mark Waugh on strike wherever possible. This is the sort of wicket where once you get in and you get set,
Doesn't do any harm to have to make a few runs before you get there, because you're going to have a few ups and downs. In the air and gone. Mark Waugh, casual as always. I mean, when he's playing well, he looks casual, so you can't really complain when it finally brings about his downfall. Straightforward catch to the gully. Ball just being held back a little bit by Wasim Akram, and he is a fine bowler, but I can tell you there's a fine batsman as well.
it's well bowled, well caught, and it's taken a good bit of work to get rid of Mark Waugh. An excellent innings, his 9th Test century. Australia 7 for 240.
Well, more or less out towards mid-off. Well done, well caught. Good wicket keeping once again from Rashid Latif. He's made quite a difference to this Pakistan side, just in general keenness and gloving ability. And that was a good catch, because he had to go slightly forward as well as sideways. And Wasim Akram has seemed likely all the time has picked up the wicket at Waugh.
Yes, it carried easy, and a very good delivery. Having slanted one in, he then got that one just to move the other way a little bit. Thick outside edge, and it went racing away to the keeper. So that's the end of Shane Warne. He made it just a 2 there before he was out caught behind. From this angle, there we go, big deflection, and taken 3 or 4 inches above the ground. Well, that's it, all over. I think Richie might have been right there. He didn't seem to be exactly behind that first one, and that's just had to be straight. It was, and that was the end of McDermott.
This was the first ball from Wasim Akram. And the second end, as it turned out, the last ball. has hit middle and leg without any appreciable amount of sheepskin between it and contact. Well, that's not done much for the Australian cause. It's 9 for 249. Deep mid-wicket now, that's sensible. And rifle will look for 2 there. I couldn't understand why they'd employed a man at short mid-wicket instead of deep. They've got him in deep now. Caught. Out. And the innings is over at 257. May not have been the smartest move to go for the 3rd run, with Rifle as the more recognised batsman. But a wonderful performance from the little leg spinner Ejaz Ahmed. He's produced the lofted drive there. 100.
Hale off the mark. And Hale just got his toe trodden on by Ian Healy, who had to go back to take that throw. Gone, dropped. This time Mark Taylor. So we've had Mark Waugh and Mark Taylor dropping catches in this test match, and that is unusual.
Ejaz Ahmed flashing as he did in the first innings. It flew to Mark Waugh in the first innings, around about the same position, same height. He was able to take the catch, separate from the one Ian was talking about. And on this occasion, Mark Taylor gets his left hand to it, both hands up there.
Chance, yes, well taken. David Boone on the offside this time instead of his normal onside position, has taken a very good catch.
We saw Brendan Julian down in Hobart take a very good catch in the same sort of area coming forward. Always the hardest thing to do for a fieldsman is to come forward when the ball is coming low and hard. Hale again slashing away on the offside. And David Boone, we've seen him agile at bat pad many times, but that's a wonderful catch. And Craig McDermott takes the first wicket of the innings again. Pakistan 1 for 18.
It is in that position where Pakistan have the lead, but he's doing a good job of captaining from a defensive position.
Oh, it's got to be out. It's gone. And that's what happens when you get into a negative frame of mind and you're not thinking about using the bat. All of a sudden you pick the wrong ball. He wasn't thinking about using the bat, and by the time he tried to bring the bat into play, it's all too late.
That's well bowled, Shane Warne. That's the top spinner. It gets him on the back leg, and it was going on to collect middle stump. Umpire Randall, no hesitation there, and Ejaz is annoyed with himself, I think, as much as anything. And so the second Pakistan wicket is down with the score at 58.
Players need to do these days, keep an eye on anything that's happening to the ball.
That's well played. Short delivery again, and that one right off the middle of the bat. Played into the gap on the offside to short ball from Warne that time. Don't see many loose ones from him. The score moves on to 67. Almost comes down right on top of it there for a second. Again, another short delivery, and again that one played away quite well into the gap and down to the boundary for his second four.
You can bet your life that in about 99% of cases, if you bowl short, it's because you've got round a bit too front on. And that may well be the case if you've got something that's troubling you with your foot. You're not putting quite as much stress on as you should. You may easily get round a bit front on.
So 6 runs from that over, 2 for 74.
That's what happens. He could be gone. I think that's out. Yes. And what a good effort by Mark Waugh. Trying to sweep, not using the feet. That's the frustration. And Mark Waugh, like a panther, sprang across the pitch and took a good, well-judged catch.
Well, again, that's the problem when you're thinking about not using the bat. When you get a ball to score from, you move late, and the ball has come from either the glove or the arm. Umpire Steve Randall says the glove.
Well, it looked reasonably high on the glove if it was on that occasion. We'll have a look at that later. But that's a big breakthrough by Shane Warne. The experienced Raja out for 39. He never really goes on with it. A 3 for 82 and the ground's a buzz.
Nearly so close.
Well, this is the tangle we're talking about. Not sure whether to play or not. In the end, he just pops it up. Shane Warne diving, just gets it on the half volley. Oh, so near. Valiant attempt from Shane Warne. He just didn't quite hit it hard enough. Diving forward's the hardest thing to do.
He'll be going through his mind after that ball earlier in the over where Basit Ali played and it went through to Healy. If he can get a top spinner pitching in the right spot and bounce it a little more, there was the chance of it being gloved. Just have it hit the gloves instead of go through to the wicketkeeper. Good for the plan of campaign.
You wouldn't believe it. He's done him between his legs. Well, whatever it is they talked about, you can bet your life in future it'll be, why don't you give him the one that'll bowl in between his legs?
Well, this is what happens when you don't want to use the bat. You start to stick the pad out. The ball pitches in the rough around the leg stump, spins viciously. Mike Gadding knows what it's all about. That's what the bat's for, son. And what a way to finish the day. The Australians will go in euphoric. The Pakistanis will be dragging their backsides on the ground. And this could be the turning point in the test match. Crashes into the leg stump between the pads. Well, what a disaster for Basit Ali.
An 11-wicket spell, and I can tell you it has been absolutely brilliant to watch. Started with a 42-run lead and 4 for 101 at the close of play on the third day. Amir Sohail out for 9, Ramesh Raja 39, Ejaz Ahmed 15, and Basit Ali right at the very end, bowled by Warne for 14.
And popping into the surf down there. Shane Warne, meantime, continuing around the wicket. Oh, and that did spin a long way and hit the outside edge, went down again, and yet again the ball doesn't carry the slip.
Some vicious turn here again for Shane Warne, coming around the wicket, pitching in the rough. Very thick outside edge, and it didn't look like carrying to Mark Taylor. Soft hands, too, contributed to the fact that the ball went down.
Onto the back foot and getting stuck into that one. Almost looks as if he was setting himself for anything short. He's going to pull it away. He's got a very forceful bottom hand. In fact, he uses it quite predominantly in some of his shots. You can see it's parted there, and he's whack. Here comes the bottom hand, and he smashed that one away all the way along the ground to mid-wicket.
You get a close-up of the grip here. The bottom hand, as Tony says, where the power comes from.
The short delivery again, and once again onto his back foot, bringing that bottom hand in and getting it away on the onside. That one very hard in Zaman.
Well, you've got to give them some credit. That's clever.
Well, big appeal, and he's given him. That turned back a long way. Well, I'm going to want to see that replay. That really did spin back a long way, and umpire Dickie Bird there had a little look at it. Up came his finger, and so Mark Waugh has made the breakthrough.
A part-time spinner. Pitches just outside off stump. He's not very far forward. Dickie Bird had a good look at it. He didn't seem to hesitate at all. Colin Malek's on the way back to the pavilion, and all of a sudden the air of expectancy comes back to the SDG. Pakistan 5 for 163.
That's a good shot from Inzamam. He's a powerful man. Gives the ball a real thump. Lists his hobbies as eating and sleeping. Inzamam, 5 for 166.
Oh, he's had a go at that one, and it's going down to the fence. He really did get onto that too, and that brings up his 50. So Inzamam Al-Haq making a half century. He's not finished yet, and making it when it's vitally important from Pakistan's point of view.
Quite unflappable, Inzamam. Minimum of fuss. We've even seen him in the field use the minimum of energy.
Again, in the attempt at a flipper, he's not quite getting that one right. Certainly not for the left-hander. He's pitching outside leg stump and paddled away down towards square leg. Oh, and that one's gone through everything, and he's given him out. Yes, he's given him out. A big appeal there for LBW. I think that's what it was about. I don't think it was a caught behind. It went right through him. That was him done. Well, I must say that my initial reaction to the LBW appeal must have been close to pitching outside leg stump. Let's have another look.
Well, it's only the height that could have been a complaint, I think, there. It pitched in line. Wasim Akram was only on the crease.
His hands there as well. He's out there because of the captain. Well, we're not too sure, really. Was he out LBW or was he out caught behind? My feeling was that he was given out LBW. But we'll have another look at that in a second. That's nicely played away. He's got that one just behind square. Boone's after it. It's 2 and coming back to the 3rd. Oh, no shot played. He's given him out. LBW on the full. Well, he simply stood there and hit him on the full. Big appeal from Healy behind the stumps. Up went Warren as well. No shot offered, and Dickie Bird gave him out.
Well, Rashid Latif, having looked back to see the replay on the big screen. Ball pitching around leg stump, offering no shot. Very dangerous ploy. And Dickie Bird doesn't hesitate. So Rashid Latif, not very happy.
Of 3 balls in this over. Let's have another look at this dismissal. Really, did this pitch outside?
Test match in progress. Still wide open. It's a day and a half to go. It's gone for him. He's out. Brilliantly caught. Taylor at mid-wicket. Inzamam trying to hit over the infield. Hit it to Taylor. Went like a rocket and he caught it as clean as a whistle. Superb cricket.
That's the danger for the batsman on this sort of pitch. When you do try and hit over the infield, it's very difficult to get a lot of elevation. And he got it just high enough to give Mark Taylor the chance. And he doesn't need much of a chance. Very good catch. Number 98 in Test cricket for Mark Taylor. And the dangerous Inzamam is gone. Pakistan 8 for 198.
Doing a good job here. Has 3 for 44 now. Oops. I'm looking for one-way stop. They got it in the end. Mustak balked halfway down. There's always a single there. Just a little bit of pressure mounting now for the lower order batsmen.
That's the thing. When you get the bowlers batting together, the running between wickets deteriorates. They're usually not great runners between.
Short of Taylor, races down to third man. Should come back to the second. We're doing that. That brings up the 200. So it's 8 for 201. Got him! Yes, he's got him. Superb work. Beautiful catch. Good bowling, good cricket.
Well, just one ball it took. Mark Waugh was brought in there specifically for that delivery. Craig McDermott bowled it absolutely spot on, and they got the result they were after. That is excellent cricket. Right off the middle of the bat, but you can't hit him above ground when Mark Waugh is around the place. So Sarclane is gone. Mark Waugh there, watching the ball all the way, and does it easily.
He's out there because of that last catch taken by Mark Waugh. And what a good catch it was too. Came in there waiting for it was all planned, waiting for the short ball. And he almost came in too far actually.
All big appeal is...
Anyhow, is Wasim Akram. Yeah, we'll be hoping that this ball swings for him. We saw him get rid of Slater in the first innings very quickly. This time it's going to be Taylor to take strike. They rotate the strike, and I say they rotate it, they take it in turns, they swap around each test match or each innings, and this time it's Taylor. So 31 years of age. Have a look at that career average, just over 45. Will sharply back at the right-hander, and if he can get it right again, Slater will be conscious of not playing a booming drive at it. He'll also have to be a little wary of getting his pad across too far, because very often bowlers like Wasim Akram can trap the right-hander's LBW.
Oh, he sent him back. If he hits his trouble, oh dear, oh dear. Mark Taylor was sent back by Mike. Direct hit, or somebody had been at the stumps. Mark Taylor would have been on his way back.
And you'll hear Mark Taylor scream no afterwards, because he got a call of yes there. The throw misses. Now it rebounds off the fielder's hands, and you'll hear Mark scream no here. He's very annoyed with his partner.
Banking on his spinners to win in this test match. Oh, and he's dropped him. Inzamam could well have undone all the good work that he did with the bat this morning by dropping a reasonably straightforward chance.
And it came in the midriff area, which is usually where you've got the opportunity to clutch them to the belly. And it gets him on the palm, high up on the palm.
Well, that's what Michael Slater thinks of it all. He's not going to get himself out playing little dabs here and there. He's decided to go with the full-blooded swing of the bat.
Well, that's the thing that you always get the feeling with Pakistan that can bring them undone, is their fielding.
He's got that one away, nice and fine. And he'll get 3 here.
Mushtaq, the bowler, it's getting onto leg stump there and swept away by Taylor. That deflection off the shoulder there reminded me of the time when Seymour Nurse was caught off John Gleeson and hit Eric.
Trying to make a small target of himself. And he's had a go at that one as well, and that's raced away through the offside field. Well, it is lovely to watch Slater play. There's never a dull moment. And this is an example of his aggression.
This is a perfect cover drive. He goes up and does use his feet down. He goes, he skips down and gets the half volley, which is a fraction wide, and he hammers it through cover for 4. And maybe Wasim Akram will just have to drop back there slightly of cover. He's there for the lofted one that doesn't stay on the ground, but he really hammers that all the way on the carpet. This is a valuable partnership now with 42.
I almost make it even better if we can. We're all responsible, and we want to give as much as we can.
So no wicket for 42. Going to be Mushtaq again, this time for Slater. Oh, well bowled, that's got to be, yes, he's got him out, LBW, he's done him with a little googly. Slater didn't pick it, he padded up, the ball spun back, and it's almost a replay of his Hobart dismissal. Well bowled, Mushy. He's tossed it up, it spun back a little bit. That is the end of Slater.
And that's what they needed. Beautifully bowled. We've seen Shane Warne bowl beautiful in this match, but so was Mushtaq. That's his 6th wicket, and that was a vital one. They've had a few near misses, a drop chance, and finally the googly deception gets Slater at 23. It's 1 for 42.
David Boone, the new batsman, 34 years of age. He's got an overall batting career average of 43.72. Have a look at all those test matches up on the right-hand side there. 104, over 7,000 runs.
Further 178 needed by Australia. Shouts of encouragement to the off-spinner. And that's well caught.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Off the back of the bat, I'd say. Need the replay to confirm that. Looked as though it came from pad onto the back of the bat. And then brilliantly caught. I think there's only one injury has come out of it.
That was a very good catch because the ball bobbed down onto the back of the bat, and Mohan Khan, the substitute fielder, has taken the catch. And then you watch Amir Sahel come out of this and he's still holding his face. What he did was whack his face, probably where he got hit by Watkar in the nets in Melbourne the other day, and he's whacked it on the grill of Mohan's helmet. That's why he's holding his lip. But David Boone is gone. It's 2 for 69.
Beautiful shot. Just need the replay to tell you whether or not he started down the pitch before the ball left the bowler's hand. But he certainly got it off the middle of the bat.
I think you'll find that Mark Waugh was just waiting for just a little more elevation. And once he saw it, he was like the panther down the wicket. Just the one bounce. And well fielded. No, he's missed it. What a shame.
That's a lovely stroke. So 2 very good shots by Mark Waugh in this over. 2 boundaries, and it's 2 for 99.
Goes slow ball and he whacks. That could be 6. That really helps the total. Dickey's looking for help. He doesn't know. Dickey said, I don't know. Yes, and finally he goes for the 6.
There's a well-flighted delivery by Mushtaq. He slowed that one up. Mark Waugh picked the extra flight and just crunched it.
We appreciate it. If you want the lead.
Beautiful evening, good crowd in, and a very tense test match. Still up for grabs. Wasim Akram going around the wicket to Mark Waugh. He had him caught in the gully in the first innings driving when he was 100 for 16 by Mushtaq. He's in that position once again. The gully point cover mid-off. Then the fieldsman on the offside and a third man. Big shout, that's off the pad, he's given him, that's the breakthrough they needed. Well, he must have gave that out caught behind, and Mark Waugh, who normally doesn't show any emotion whatsoever, is not happy. But that's the wicket that Pakistan wanted. Wasim Akram got the breakthrough.
Well, the umpires had 3 pretty good days, but suddenly on the 4th day there's been a little bit of variation in the standard. A big shout there from Rashid Latif, and you can see there Mark Waugh most unhappy. He feels that he hasn't got any bat on it. But it will say in the scorecard, Waugh caught Rashid, bowled was him 34. 3 for 117.
Right, watchman in Healy, a wicket-keeper batsman. The toss, oh, maybe onto the boot. The teeth dives behind the stumps. It's all happening.
It was very quick reaction there from the wicket-keeper. Ian Healy getting it on the full. He jams it into his boot. And it pops up in the air. Keeper just got to it on the first bounce. Would have been a miracle catch if he'd have taken it.
Steve Bell going across to square leg because the man's coming to silly points very square. So a slip, silly point. That pad from Mustak for the final delivery of the fourth day's play. And Healy picks up a run. So it stumps Australia 3 for 121 for 126 runs for victory. With 7 wickets in hand, it's going to be an exciting final day here at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
I do hope you... Good evening, everyone, and welcome to highlights of the 5th day's play of this 3rd Benson and Hedges Test match from the Sydney Cricket Ground between Australia and Pakistan. For overnight, Australia in their second innings were 121 for 3. Having lost Slater, Boone and Waugh, they needed 126 for victory this morning, and I thought they looked pretty solid, with Taylor 49 not out and Healy, the night watchman, but a very useful bat, on 3 not out. But I was wrong, and what a morning it was. Just sit back and enjoy these at the top.
He wants to get 4 through that region. There's a chance. If he hits him, power safe for home. That's a very good 50 under enormous pressure.
And a lot of the responsibility rests with the captain, and he'll be well aware of that. He commented after yesterday's play that he wants to lay to rest the feeling that Australians aren't good. The Australian cricket team is not good at chasing small targets. He wants to lay that to rest, and all his concentration and determination will go towards that. A fine 50 for Mark Taylor. He's had a good...
And Healy on strike. Very strong offside field. Nobody at mid-wicket, which is a bit of a surprise. Healy goes there. Well, that's the bonus runs for Ian Healy. That's his strength. And they'll get 3. 4 runs off the over. 3 for 125. Dual performances. Oh, that's a good one. That was very quick. On the 5th day on this very slow pitch, the very quick arm action of Wasim Akram getting some bounce and swing. It's a beautiful bouncer.
Bowling.
beats him again. He's got him! That's the wicket they needed. Waugh with a magnificent over. The two bounces, those two perfect deliveries. Healy was committed to a stroke, and this game is wide open.
Well, that is a marvellous piece of bowling from a master of his craft. He's worked away and worked away. This one just continues straight on. Healy tempted again. And Rashid Latif does the work. Ian Healy's out. And he is a danger man, and the Pakistanis will be glad to see the back of him. Australia 4 for 126. Steve Waugh playing his 79th Test match. And the pressure's right.
That's out too. Wow, there was a big noise. It must have been some pad or ground. There was a big noise there. My word, something happened there. Did he hit the pitch? Did he hit his pad? Have another quick look at that.
You can feel the tension in the air. Driving and hits the ground with the bat. That's the noise you could hear. Dickie Bird, the man with the experience. Watch the ground. There it is. Took a divot. And that's what...
Well, he likes to hoik it over square leg. Chance. Went through his hands, did it. We'll have a look at that. I think he touched it. He needed to catch that one. It was well struck, but that's the one that the bowlers look for. Threw it up, tail come down, and didn't glove it.
Well, Mark Taylor's prepared to take some risks because he recognises they need to score some runs. There are not too many batsmen left. Mushtaq tempts him. He goes over the top. Just a finger on it. It was going like a rocket. You can't really class that as a chance. Not many bowlers would have caught that. Just got there a fraction late because it was well struck. But the risks are going to have to be taken, and if you're taking risks, you can make mistakes. And as Bill pointed out, he's got to go over the...
They'll reeve the last Test match. Ball cut straight to cover point, no run, an interesting over. 4 for 130.
The fieldsman at point, you just don't see him come into screen until after the shot's played, but just watching him before, he was moving before the shot was hit. He recognised the shot as he's trying to do because he's watching the batsman. He was on the move before Mark Taylor hit that shot, and that probably cut off any chance of a run. But the pressure is on everyone.
Nick, it gets past the slip. He dropped his wrist on that occasion, Stephen Waugh. He was encouraged into the shot, but played it pretty well.
Man with longer arms might have got his hand to this one. Wish he had a good go.
Sweeps in the air. Man's coming around. 4. Oh, top edge. Don't see Stephen Waugh sweep very often. He's in a bit of trouble with that groin. He's lucky to get that wide, the fieldsman. Good positive stroke, and Taylor's concerned. He comes across to talk to his lower order batsman.
I don't think it'll worry Steve Waugh too much. He's just signalling for the dressing room. He might need a little bit of help. As far as courage goes, Steve Waugh won't be short of it. Just a bit wide of the fine leg fieldsman, who they've now shifted a bit squarer.
Oh, a bit of bat pad. Randall at square leg.
When you start feeling the excitement in the commentary box, you can have a bit of a chat to him. Maybe he might be inquiring about whether he should have a runner or whether he's not going to do anything for 4.
Oh, bowled. He's bowled him out. That's a magnificent delivery. He tossed it up in the air. It was a googly. Steve Waugh came at the bait, tried to drive it through the offside field, and back went his off stump. That's great bowling.
It is great bowling, and it's courageous bowling, because in the last over he tossed one up out wide to Steve Waugh, and Steve Waugh drove him for 4. This time it was the wrong and pitched wide, and a little inside edge onto the stumps. So that's very thoughtful bowling from Mushtaq. And Pakistan have picked up 2 wickets this morning. Australia 5 for 146.
So he's just 24 years of age, the new batsman, Greg Blewett. He's also under quite a lot of pressure. He's had a lot of problems with Mushtaq, And they aren't about to go away because Mushtaq has got the ball in his hand, and I tell you, he will be dying to get at him. And this is how he got rid of Stephen Waugh.
Flight has gained him that wicket. They always say about spinners, you've got to beat them through the air before you can beat them off the pitch. Mushtaq did exactly that. Beautifully flighted delivery, and that's pleased the captain.
Oh, he's got in. Yes, he's out stumped. What a wicket that is. That's the one they really wanted. Taylor going down the pitch, trying to hit Mushtaq out of the ground, and the Pakistanis are around him. I think they realise now that they've got this one. Yes, they're all hugging him. He's really bowled superbly. He's now got rid of the Aussie captain, who's played so well, out for 59, stumped off the bowling of the little leggy Ejaz Ahmed.
Well, Mark Taylor was having to take risks to get his runs, and he tried once too often. And Mushtaq, who's had a terrific finish to this series in the last 2 test matches, with the aid of Rashid Latif, has got rid of Mark Taylor. Australia 6 for 153.
Australia have lost 3 for 31 this morning. Can Shane Warne put a stop to the rot?
Over the top. Yes, just got it high enough to get it over Wasim Akram's outstretched hand. 2 more, they'll take them. Not sure that everybody in the dressing room will be relaxed about this.
The 1 or 2 very nervous figures in there, jittery even. The method they've decided on might be easier to say that.
Oh, he's bowled him with the full toss. Well, I can't believe it. The in-swinging full toss, it's a deadly delivery. You don't expect to get the ball up around about waist height. You're looking for it elsewhere. And Greg Blewett will wonder where the heck that delivery went.
That's what it was. It started a foot outside off stump and it hit leg. It was reverse swing, the reverse swing we've been talking about, that Wasim Akram used earlier this morning, and now Waugh Yunus has with such deadly effect. And that swung, well, if you allow 10 inches a foot, that's gone, 25 centimetres, and it's accounted for Greg Blewett. 7 for 170.
Well, Craig McDermott is the new batsman. Paul Rifle has some hamstring problems. They've decided to go with the big fella. Probably there is that Greg Blewett, defeated by the in-swinging full toss, not the in-swinging Yorker, which Waugh is so well renowned, for which he's well renowned. Maybe Greg Blewett, these fellas, Wasim and Waugh, have hit the stumps a lot of times in their career. 77 still required, 3 wickets in hand. And there is another one, and that might be it. And that's the second time in the match McDermott has been out second ball for a duck. Bowled on both occasions, never in any real danger.
Certainly wasn't. Pads are well outside the line of the stumps. That's not very well played. But it's very well bowled. Waugh Yunus knew precisely what he had to do. And it's 8 for 170.
Paul Rifle is the man on the left with the limp. Mark Waugh is coming up to run for him. Paul Rifle has some hamstring problems. They're a similar build. If only Mark Waugh could adopt the limp, maybe he could impersonate Paul Rifle at the crease. Trouble is, Paul Rifle is the man that's going to have to face. He'll be facing Waugh Yunus, who has removed Craig McDermott with a little slider onto off stump to follow up the wicket of Greg Blewett earlier in the over. And again, the Australians are on the ropes chasing a small total. I must admit, I was just a little bit worried when I read the paper this morning to see that Mark Taylor was quoted as about wanting to lay to rest this bogey of Australian teams not being able to chase small totals. The fact that he was talking about it meant the Australians were well aware of it. And maybe, just maybe, That anxiety is what is causing the problems. They could just relax and bat normally. They may have been able to do it. 198 test wickets for Waugh Yunus. 2 for 13 he's got in this particular innings. And he's a great record. Very positive shot. They'll be looking for 3. No, they won't get them. Probably because Shane Waugh. An injured Paul Rifle and Glenn McGrath. They still need 75 runs to win the game. So it's the walking wounded for Australia. One with a hamstring problem and the other with a broken toe.
Not what you'd have high on your wish list for winning a match. Final day of what has been quite a dramatic test.
Warren goes in the air again. There's a fieldsman down at mid-off. He couldn't find it. He's got it. Yes, he's got it. And it's 6 for 51. The Australians, the much vaunted Australian batting lineup, has struggled and lost 6 for 51 so far this morning. Seclaim, the fielder at mid-off. He looked like he was struggling to find the ball in the air, but in the end he made good position and he made no mistake.
And again, it looked as the ball pitched that it was the leg break, and if so, Mushtaq has been working very well with his brain. He hasn't given Warren any wrong at all. He's just kept the leg spinner going away from him, and Warren has been trying to hit across the spin. It's now 9 for 172.
Who'd be a tail ender in this game? Glenn McGrath strides to the crease. Join Paul Rifle. So 2 bowlers out team for the Sri Lankan Test match in Perth. Under pressure, took a 42-run lead into this second innings. They looked like they mightn't have scored quite enough runs, but they came out in such a positive fashion, and they've been able to polish off the Australians for 172 in the second innings. Indikar Balam, the manager there, and he'll be a very happy man. There's been a lot of pressure on this team. They've had some injury problems. They've been in the depths. And takes the final wicket. The Australians lost 7 for 51 in 109 minutes this morning, and the winning margin 75 runs.
And just as much to the point as that statistic Greg Chappell gave you a little while ago, that all 4 innings have produced remarkable debacle from the tails. Bottom part of the order. In the first innings, Pakistan lost 5 for 36, and in their second they lost 5 for 19. In Australia's first innings they lost 5 for 31, and in the second 5 for 26. Last 5 wickets on each occasion, not producing even 40 runs. That was a splendid victory for Pakistan. They outplayed Australia today, and it's been fluctuating cricket all the way through. This is the way it all turned out. Right from the moment Pakistan decided to bat, 299 for them in their first innings, with Ejaz making 137, and an excellent performance there after they were in trouble at one stage in the middle of the order. It fell away towards the end, and Australia in reply, their bowling, McDermott 3 for 62, McGrath 2 for 79, and Warren 4 for 55, 34 overs and 20 maidens for him. The Australian batting then, in reply to that, 299, 257, Mark Waugh 116, and Steve Waugh 38, with Taylor making 47. Quite a good double for Mark Taylor, the skipper, 257. And Pakistan's bowling, dominated by Mushtaq, who did very well, 5 for 95 from 36.2 overs and 7 maidens, and 4 for 50 from Wasim Akram from 24 overs and 4 maidens. Pakistan in their second innings, they were moving along very smoothly at one stage, with Salim Malik and Inzamam ul Haq in control, 59 for Inzamam and 45 for Salim Malik, with Ramis making 39. 204 for Pakistan. And the Australian bowlers, McDermott was the figure there. He came in when Rifle was injured and took 5 for 49 from 15.3 overs, a wicket for Mark Waugh and 4 for 66 for Shane Warne. And the Australians needed 247 to win, and were able to make only 172. Victory for Pakistan by 75 runs. The top score there, Mark Taylor, 59. And Pakistan's bowling, Mushtaq Ahmed 4 for 91 and 3 wickets for Waugh Yunus and 2 for 25 for Wasim Akram, who bowled very well again this morning.
So, although Australia won this series 2 matches to 1, the honours today go to Pakistan with a superb victory in really a memorable third Benson and Hedges test match. I suppose this series might be called the Leggies series in future, with man of the match Mushtaq Ahmed and man of the series Shane Warne. But we'll certainly remember it for a wonderful, wonderful game to remember through the long months ahead. But the excitement continues.